So you're a new seller on Etsy, you have your shop, you're all good, but you don't know what to do with your first year of Etsy. You really want to grow, you really want to develop this business that you have started, but what's your checklist? What do you do with your first year on Etsy? Well, that is what this video is going to be all about. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about what to do with your first year on Etsy, how to make sure that you really push hard during your first year to enable you to be one of those shops that ranks page 1 on Etsy. And if you don't know, I did do a video about that. It will be on my channel. But today we're essentially going to be going through what to do with your first year on Etsy. But before I get going, please don't forget to subscribe for more weekly Etsy tips and tricks. And also do not forget to get the 30 days to a kick butt Etsy shop workbook. That is a 76-page workbook and that is free. So definitely go and get that because that is going to be really, really valuable for you guys. So you have your Etsy shop, you've kind of just thrown it up there, you have products that you can make, but they're not really maybe going so well, you're feeling a little bit disillusioned perhaps, you're not really sure where to even begin. Essentially, the very, very first thing I would recommend you do is to start to get to know your target market really, really well. Now, this is something that we do dive really deep into in the Handmade Bosses Success Academy. I'll just pop up a little thing here so you can see what that is. That is in the description box below. But essentially, you need to know who your target market is. And it is actually a really, really important thing that a lot of Etsy shops actually miss out on, and you need to make sure that you know who your target market is. Now, we can do this a multiple of different ways. We can go through our Etsy shop reviews, we can go through our purchases, have a look at their accounts, have a look at social media accounts and see who follows them that are similar to the kind of target market that we have. You need to know your target market to an extent where if someone says, where does your target market hang out? You need to know the answer. What values does your target market have? You need to know the answer. Where does your target market live? You need to know the answer. What gender are they? What age are they? What kind of jobs do they have? What kind of cars do they drive? You need to know exactly who they are. Basically, to a kind of creepy extent. You need to basically stalk them and know exactly who they are. The very next thing I would do is to take a note of slow and busy time. This is really, really important. Now, this is something that you are going to have to do throughout your first year of business. So I wouldn't say you have to do this like with the first few months for your first year. This is something that you are going to have to do throughout your first year. Make sure to make a note of the slow times and the busy times, because what this will do is that this will help you identify peaks and slumps. Unfortunately, what a lot of businesses do, not only Etsy shop owners, but a lot of businesses as a whole do, is that they'll have like a Christmas or a Mother's Day or a Valentine's Day or whatever, where they have a lot of sales, and then they'll go, yes, this is me now, this is what it's going to be like forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and I'm just going to go out and spend that money. We have £1,000 now, folks, it's time to floss. No, it's not. You have to make sure to keep money aside. You have to make sure to keep an even playing field, because what actually happens with, well, retail in general is it does this. And what you don't want to happen is you don't want to go and spend all of the money that you've earned over Christmas only to find that in January, February, you are running on empty. So take a note of the slow and the busy times, and this will also help you to plan ahead for things like scheduling out social media posts and making sure that everything is done before the busy times. The next thing would be to get used to the platform. Etsy used to be like a real simple platform back in like 2008, 2009, right? It used to be so simple. It used to be like sales, listings, a settings tab maybe, and that was literally it. Now it's become a myriad of a load of different things. So what I would say is to get used to the platform. Don't be afraid to click around and see what's what. For example, did you know that in the marketing tab at the very, very top, there is a search analytics beta function, which tells you what keywords are bringing in your search traffic? Did you know that? Because they weren't really very big on announcing it, and it is a beta function still, but it is something that you wouldn't maybe have known about if you hadn't have watched this video. So definitely it is worth going through and having a good little click around on your Etsy shop just to get used to the platform. I'm interrupting my very own video to bring to you the news that there is a brand spanking new webinar. This webinar is called How to Increase Your Etsy Conversion Rate. It is literally the most helpful webinar training I have ever created. So it is completely free. If you go in the link in the description box below, you can secure your place in this live training webinar. I cannot wait to see you in there, and let's get back to the video. The very next thing is to stay away from unhelpful Etsy groups and really negative forums. Now, there is no shortage of people on YouTube, people on blogs, people on the forums, and people on Etsy groups basically slating Etsy and basically slating Etsy shops and trying to bring other people down. So there are quite a few Etsy groups that have just got really, really big, and unfortunately they just can't control the members and what they're saying in there anymore, which doesn't really bode well for you. You need to protect your mindset like we wear a mask out in public now because of COVID as of recording this. Your mindset is the biggest thing that you have to protect, even more so than your brand, than your shop name, than your products. You have to protect your mindset. And unfortunately what happens is that a lot of new sellers, they put up a shop on Etsy, they're not seeing the kind of results that they really, really want to see because they haven't, invested in education, got free resources like the 30 days to a Kickbutt Etsy shop workbook, all of these things they haven't done. And they go on to Etsy groups to search for answers. But instead what they come across is people saying that Etsy is no good, that their fees are too high, that they don't get sales, and that it's a waste of time. And what that does is it just makes a bad day turn into a lost business on Etsy. And I'm just gonna very quickly tell you, I do have a video on my channel explaining like my story and how much I make on Etsy and being really clear and transparent with you guys. But Etsy is something that you can absolutely make a full-time business out of, just Etsy. I've got my own website and I do wholesale and all shows and things like that as well. But Etsy is something that I have a full-time income that has enabled me to buy this house, to buy my car, to do everything that I want to do just through Etsy. So please do not go onto the forums and on groups and read a post where someone has said that Etsy is no good and Etsy doesn't work anymore, because to be honest with you, it's not true. It doesn't work for them. Maybe their attitude at that time is wrong. Maybe they're not doing what they're supposed to do. You don't know the stories behind their comments. I do have a Facebook group in the description box below, which is a purely positive environment for you to come and have a look at. We post questions, and every single Friday I do go live and do a live training or a Q&A or something like that. So it is definitely worth joining, and obviously it's free. So I'm giving you all the free resources today, guys. So definitely make sure that you do grab them, because that nicely brings me on to my next point, and that is invest in education. Now, I'm just going to say this, that you can only get so far on free information, and that is why I do have the Handmade Bosses Success Academy. I'm just going to put a little something up here. That is something where it is to turn your Etsy side hustle into a thriving business on Etsy and beyond Etsy. We talk about wholesale and all sorts in there as well. So it is only for serious Etsy sellers that want to take their business to the next level. And I've just told you, hand on heart, brownie promise, that Etsy can absolutely be a full-time income, and I have done that for myself. I quit my horrible 9-to-5 job 5 years ago now to do my Etsy business full-time, and that's what I've done. So investing in education, free content is fantastic, and I personally think, I'm a little bit biased, but I think that my free content and like the 30 days to a Kickbutt Etsy shop workbook and the how to increase your Etsy listings conversion rate webinar, I personally think my free information is next to none. I give you so much information for free. Please do absorb that. Please go and do watch the other videos on my channel. I've made them for you. And then do consider taking a program like the Handmade Bosses Success Academy. Now, I'm not here to push it upon you at all, but I am here to say that I have been in the same boat, right? Where I've consumed all of the free information, and you hit a bit of a glass ceiling at some point. You kind of end up thinking, well, I'm not really getting as far as I kind of hoped, right? So definitely it is worth considering, you know, at least look at the page, right? It might not even be open for enrollments at the moment, but at least have a look and get a taste for what else is out there. So that will be in a description box below. So investing in education, and whether it's a monetary investment or a time investment, is completely up to you, but do definitely make sure to invest something in your education. The next thing is to get really comfortable with your product and how it works, and essentially come up with like an elevator pitch. What you don't want to do is you don't want to be at a craft fair or out with friends and family and they say, what do you make? And you say, oh, I make jewelry, or oh, I crochet hats, or oh, I print t-shirts, or I do printables on Etsy. You need to make sure that you are confident in yourself and you are confident in your brand and what you do and what pain point your brand solves for your target customer. And that is why I did say right at the beginning of this video, you need to be really comfortable with who your target market is. So make sure to get really comfortable with your product. Use it yourself for a couple of weeks. Really get to grips with what it is. And I think you will all be surprised actually with maybe how little you actually know about your own product. What we do, like let's say you sell bath bombs, right? And you've just made them, you've not really tried them, you've maybe tried them in like a bowl of water, something like that. Try using your own bath bombs for 2-3 weeks and really get to grips with how you feel when you use them, how your skin feels, how they bubble, the scents, and you might actually end up thinking, you know what? My scents are so good, they're so strong. I'm gonna make sure to pop that in my description or in my listing photographs as a feature and benefit of my product. My skin is so soft when I get out of the bath. That is going in my descriptions. I now know my product that little bit better, so that when that customer comes to you and says, hey, I've got really, really dry skin, is this gonna work for me? You can with confidence say, yes, it will. Get to grips with having like a little elevator pitch as well to kind of say when people say, what do you do? The very last thing I would say is to, and this is gonna, I think, annoy a lot of people, but you've got to stay away from vanity metrics, okay? You've got to stay away from looking at other shops and saying, how come they've got 5,000 sales and I've got 5? That's not right. How come this Instagram profile has got 5,000 followers and I've got like 100? You know, what is that about? It's really difficult to stay away from numbers. Numbers seem to dominate our society right now. They seem to dominate everything, especially when it comes to social media, right? Stay away from those. Stay away from the temptation to check your own numbers against other people's, because that is actually going to damage your mindset a lot, and that does go against really protecting your own mindset. But you need to make sure to stay away from vanity metrics and just remember that that shop is on their path and you are on yours. There is room for everyone to succeed on Etsy. I truly, hand on heart, believe that. There is room for everyone. So don't have hate for other Etsy shops that may be ahead of you, because that's actually a good thing. That proves that what you're doing can work on Etsy. If you are selling something that no one else sells on Etsy, that's going to be a little bit more of a concern, because you don't have like a ready proven, not a roadmap, but a competitor essentially that has proven that this can actually be done. So do just make sure to stay away from vanity metrics. Although it can drive you, it can also really damage your mindset. So guys, I do hope that was helpful. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. That would help me a great deal. Subscribe if you haven't already and click the little bell to be notified when new videos go up. And also don't forget to use the free resources. They are in the description box below. But for now, guys, I hope you have a fantastic week and a fantastic day, and I shall catch up with you all soon. Bye everyone.